Peace be upon everyone, dear friends and colleagues. By the mercy of God Almighty, Alhamdulillah, we are continuing our parenting classes. And today we are going to delve with another very interesting question for parents. And there are some traditional way of disciplining our children, especially if we go outside of the United States. There are horrible stories of disciplining children, especially at their teenager ages. We don't want to talk about it. However, some of those practice unfortunately come in the United States, as parents do remember they were disciplined when they were young. So today we are going to answer, or review the question: how should parents discipline uncooperative or moody teenagers? So would like to review the techniques or methodology of disciplining our teenager such a way that it doesn't violate any of the state or federal regulation as far as education wise. And also at home, we don't want to do any kind of disciplining that will cause concern from the school or other places. So keeping that in mind, would like to ask our expert, Dr. Habiba and Dr. Ranginwala, to provide us constructive way we can discipline our children, especially the teenagers. Now we're talking about the teenagers and a little bit grown up. So please go ahead, Dr. Habiba, kindly provide your recommendations.
Thank you for this opportunity for me to share my experience in dealing with teenagers and the family members. And I would like to give advice to the parents too. So as I said, from the beginning, it is always the parents need to be role models, and nobody is perfect, right? Uh, Once you have the children, so you have to have the responsibility. Your best responsibility is to take care of the children. So whatever you did, you try to avoid and try to be as best as you can as a role model. Then so you need to have like a habit of listening to them, and then sitting and talking with them. So the rules should be very straightforward and very frank. Okay, so they need to have already one understanding: this is okay, but this is definitely not okay, right? Like that. And then the children also need to agree with that. And so certain things we need to be very strict. Teenagers now, we know here in US, the drugs. So I see middle school children exposed to illicit drugs. And then the culture is also different from our culture. So for them, for the other people, it is open culture. It is not wrong for the other people to freely mingle with the other sex. And also dressing. So we have, as Islam, Muslim girls, we have ethnic code in dressing. And even, for boys also. So we have, certain way of dressing, which other way for other community, it's okay. It's okay to wear like short dress for women and a little more exposing to the body. They do not think about, that is wrong. But I just don't want to go and tell them anything. That is their culture. But we need to tell our children what is important for us. So don't be too picky in too many things, right? So first and foremost, we need to have rules in place. So this is okay, but this is not okay. And definitely this is not okay, like that. And be frank. And you also need to be, try to be role model as much as possible. And and also, be involved. Yeah, everybody is busy. Parents are also busy. But when you are with the children, give quality time. 100%. So once in a month, you are going to give like half an hour. But if it is going to be a quality time, that matters, right? So instead of like sitting every day with them, but not talking with them, but, doing different things, instead, okay, today, Saturday afternoon, so we are free. So we are going to do whatever my son likes, So this is your time. Tell me what you want me to do. So give choices to him what he wants to do. So even if you don't like that, but because of your son, or your daughter, you need to do that, right? Like that. So number one, yeah, we need to have rules. Suppose in case, and also, I definitely tell them everything, make them that you love them. They need to understand, the parents love their children. So that they need to understand. We are not their enemies, right? We don't want to like punish them or anything like that. We want them the best in their life. So we want to tell them. And also, you know, then suppose in case they did something wrong. So don't be too wild with them, too angry with them. Let us talk about it. So tell me what happened. What was the situation? Like that, try to find out what's going on the other side. For the children also, it is not difficult. It is not like our time. So we are entirely different, right? I am an immigrant, and then I came here uh, middle age, right? Not even engaged, middle age I came. So my culture, everything, I was so protected, I'm telling, So I was in like a girls' high school. And then, so we are really like protected community. I grew up in a protected environment, whereas here it is different. And culturally, the other children are different, right? So it is a lot of pressure on our children. So please tell them this is okay and this is not okay. So like that, it's okay to talk. When a boy comes and talk to you, it's okay to talk. It's all right. You can, even the boys also with the girls, it's okay to talk. You can make eye contact. What we say, in our countries and all, boys should not talk with girls, or, men should not talk with women. Don't make eye contact. You should not make eye contact. But now we can tell that, right? So, and we need to have some rules and regulations in our, as pediatricians, what we do, once the children 13 years, when they come for 13 years well visit, we talk to the children separately. We tell the parents to go out of the room, and we try to talk to the children and then find out what's going on, everything. And then always what I tell, your parents are your best friends. They are the best people you can rely on. In the same way, I will tell the parents too. So that way, anything happening in the school, they need to be frank, and then they need to talk to the parents. And suppose if they uh, did something wrong, not they forgot to obey the rule, or they did not follow the rule, don't shut the door. Don't be too cruel to them. If you are going to be very strict with them, they are going to move away and away from you. And then it's very difficult. If you are going to shut the door, then, yeah, they will be going, leaning towards the other people who, who do things which is unacceptable for us. So they will be leaning, and you are pushing your child that side. So you open your, and you say, it's all right, I understand. Try to say, I understand your situation. And then, okay, once this has happened, let's try. We both sit together and try to find out how to solve this problem. And then hereafter, how to prevent this problem should not happen hereafter. So sit down and talk. That way, once, okay, I forgive you. This is a big mistake, but it's all right. Allah is always forgives people who did mistake. And hereafter, sincerely, we should not do that. And then definitely Allah will forgive you. So I am also forgiving you right now. And then, so once you are talking strict, then go and hug the child, hug the, even a teenager, big boy, big girl, it's all right. So you are um, your child, right? And then say, I am here for you, you know, and I will help you. And another thing I want to tell you, so immigrant parents, and sometimes the children think they know everything parents do not know. You know, I know more than my parents because they are immigrants. They do not know anything. And sometimes they are disrespectful too. But you need to make sure, okay, you know, I was not brought up in this culture, but I have personal experience, right? And also I want that's the reason why, you know, community places like, you know, a place of worship, uh, mosque and churches play a very good role, you know, so that, you know, the parents can get advice from people, you know, reliable people. So, and then they can tell them, even though I don't have, I had not gone through that, I can understand you. I am here to help you. Whatever, you know, your struggles, I am there with you. So let us fight together, right? Like that, you know, in the same way, the dads too, you know, sit down, understand, it's all right, okay, fine. And then hereafter, I am with you, you talk to me, I am here. You know, any struggle, anything, you please come and ask me. I am here to help you, like that. Or let's face together. Let's get advice from very close people. You know, that way others won't know, you know, they don't want the other community people to know about things, what happened to their son or daughter. It's all right. So people who are like very confident, very experienced can give advice. Let's go talk to them and try to do things. That way only I think we need to go. Okay. So
All right, Alhamdulillah, that's very valuable advice for the parents. And I didn't hear Dr. Habiba, you mention anything about grounding rules or taking away privileges in case they are uncooperative after doing all these things. Do you, as a pediatrician, do they recommend that those kind of
so
negative
milder.
impact?
So first and foremost, you need to tell, you know, the rules are very clear. Even the child also, the teenager also knows these are the rules. Suppose if they go one time, sit down and talk, what is the situation? And one time you can forgive. Second time, again, he's repeating, then you can give, okay, that you need to tell the beginning, the first time itself, first time when you have, when he did this, and then you sat down with him, and then you forgave him, you had forgiven him, and then you tell, okay, so next time if I find you doing this, or if you did do that, you know, then your punishment will be this, you know, we will take out the privileges of your telephone, your phone, we won't have, you will not have phone with you. Or, you know, okay, so only like after school, after you come from school, you need to give your phone to us. Like that, you know, the rules, um, very clear rules. And the son, daughter also agrees with the rules, right? And always be, I am doing this. And also you tell, you know, I am doing this only in your best interest. So they need to do, they need to know that. And also I know it's so difficult, but sometimes, you know, people more, they will influence you a lot, you need to struggle. So let's find out, suppose if it happens, suppose, you know, so many times, one example is the children go for like sleeping in the friend's house, bad things happen there. Try to try to know your children really well. Who are their friends? Try to know your children really well, what they are doing. You need to have access to their bedroom. Just because it is teenagers' bedroom, you should not, don't think that you should not go. You need to go inside, clean, and look at the cupboard. It that gives him, okay, I can't hide anything from my parents. And also you tell them it is not for me you are doing. I am telling all this because, because of Allah, right? You are answerable to Allah. You can like hide things from me, but you are answerable to Allah. So you need to know that Allah is watching. So the faith also plays a very big role here. And also you tell, suppose anything, Allah knows everything, how you were in that position, and let's try to find out how to overcome that. So as I said, they went to the friend's house, for sleeping, and and it seems one of the doctor's son was addicted to drugs, and the doctor is a excellent person, very nice person. His son was all bad stuff he had, because he said, he didn't know in the friend's house he was going for sleeping in, the parents left, and then they had access to all bad things, and then it went like uncontrolled and things like that. So know your children really good. And first and foremost, suppose even if they commit mistake, first you have the rules very correct, be frank, what are the rules? And then first time if they commit mistake, don't shut the door. So you need to sit with them. If you are going to shut the door, they are going to lean towards the other people, and then they are going to be other side, and they will not come to you. So even a small opportunity, try to be in contact with them, and then try to resolve, so you get the confidence from them. I am doing the best for you, right? So be frank and try to help the children.
Thank you. And that makes sense. Yeah, we have seen a lot of stories where parents they were harsh, and they kind of closed the door and children moved out or ran out. And those
Yeah.
that was a very bad decision from the parents. And like you said, the children are also test for parents in this world.
Yes.
So if
Yeah.
we close the door, that would be disastrous, because then they are subject to get abused, they are subject to get human trafficking and many other bad things they can get engaged, and then parents would be crying, why did I do that? So never ever close the door.
And also the children also will be suffering. So human trafficking, they go into their hands, they cannot come out. It's so hard. The children also love the parents, but it is at the time decision making, something had happened, then it is bad for our children too, right? So we don't want our children to be ruined just because one time they did one small mistake, right? Or one mistake. And if we are going to be very harsh with them, then they are going to be going to the other path. And though those people will be like, engaging with them, supporting them. That way, they will be more towards them. They think those people are good and the parents are bad. And then without their knowledge, they fell into their trap. So that is very dangerous. That is very dangerous. So that is the reason why we need to keep the communication open and try to help slowly. It is difficult, but may Allah guide every one of us. May Allah guide every one of us to do the right thing.
I mean, Dr. Ranginwala, I think you have 10 minutes if you can help us to address the moody issue or other disciplining issue from psychiatry and psychological point of view, kindly.
I'm sorry
Thank
I
you very
took
much.
more time. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, thank you very much. You covered the topic very comprehensively, and that was very helpful. Um, the one couple of things I have in mind, I want the parents to be aware. One is called Child Protective Service. All the parents needs to be aware what are the rules for Child Protective Service. We take it for granted, not understanding there are strong rules, and it can varies with different locations. So sometimes they are lenient, sometimes not. But the question is, are you following Child Protective Service rules? And Child Protective Service at times are very stringent about the rules, and it does not matter is your kid or not. If those rules are broken, they take away the kid. I'm telling you again, they will take away the kid, even it's your kid, because you broke the rule. They investigate, and till the investigation is done, they will take away the kid. So this is something different than where we came from. Or we can give corporal punishments and all different type of punishments, and you can get out of it. But here in America, it's totally you need to know child protective service rules, correct? So this is something people should be aware, especially the parents, that if you're raising the kid and become physical by hitting them, or they get hurt or any marks, especially on the face, if somebody else can let the authority know, it's not like uh, coming from for any source. If it comes and the child protective service get the call, then they will investigate, and you have no, they will wait. You don't have any leverage till they do complete investigation. So you need to be aware of those rules, that not to hit the kids, that will leave markings, especially on the face or other places, which is not considered okay for hitting. Hitting is never okay. But I'm just letting you know, so these are very strong rules written. Same as other behavior, we have seen that some of the kids which I have seen are, not doing well, and the parents have gone to the religious place to use them for begging and all those things. Unfortunately, that is not acceptable here. If the Child Protective Service comes to know that your child is with the parents in a begging situation, they will do a complete investigation and take the kids away from your care. A lot of people are not aware of these rules. So be aware of what are the rules where you live. It's not you can use your kid for purpose of getting money or things like that. That's unacceptable here by any means. So some places they don't understand this concept, but unfortunately, when they find out the kids are taken, they can find a lawyers or things like that. Unfortunately, they don't have money to find a lawyer in this situation, but being aware is thousands times better than not be aware of it. Okay, so that is very important for any community to know what are the rules in child protective service. Child protective service is very stringent at times, and they will follow the rules. So don't break any rules in child protective service. Other things which you have mentioned very nicely. The one thing which is very important for us is discipline. It has to be mostly verbal, never by any other means. Should try to avoid any other means. It should be verbal. The goal is to develop a trust, and the parent and the kids for whatever you do, the kid will grow up and will do the same thing where they are learning from. So you need to develop good trusting relationship and listen to them when they do something wrong. Go into a neutral demeanor position, have a good understanding their viewpoint, and work with them. Don't use the punishment phenomena as a first line of managing the issue. Or you need to listen to them, understand the situation, and work with them, and encourage the reward phenomena rather than punishment phenomena, until unless it's very essentially required, like something has been done significant enough where you need to do. But reward should be the first line of going how to work it, or taking away the reward, right? So that's another way of doing it, rather than giving a harsh punishment as a first line of treatment. That should be, think about it before you give, because then they will think I'm in trouble. Whenever my dad and mom called me in this room, I'm always in trouble. So how do I protect myself? If that start thinking comes in, they're not going to tell the truth. And you want as much communication with your kid or not. As a kid, you will break a lot of rules. We did it, our kid will do it, and this is how it is. You have to be forgiving in a lot of time and work with your kid, and try to develop trusting relationship. Trusting relationship work 100 of miles better than not trusting relationship. When you're not present, if you have a trusting relationship with your kid, the kid will come back to you and come for help. But if you don't have a trusting relationship, they will go to their friend's house and develop trust. You don't know what the friend has, their upbringing is. So you, as a parent, the child is always looking for trusting relationship with their parents. So keep that thing in mind, that you should always strengthen your relationship with your kid with the trust. Yeah, that is an invisible bond between you and the child. Make that thing very strong. It is a lot of effort. I'm talking about normal behavior kids. Now, with people with mental health disorder, it become more challenging. The way of technique become different. So this is what I have said regarding normal behavior. And of course, if they do a big mistake, you have to do communication. We all do make big mistake, but does not mean that somebody needs to pay heavy price for that, especially from the beginning. So you need to work with them to see their intentions are. People do mistakes and do big mistakes, but if their intention of not doing it and they are very rigorously don't want to do it again, work with them. That is better than give the full 9-yard punishment for the big mistake, because it's a tricky call at the time. But if you give a harsh punishment from the beginning, they may not trust you at times. So be careful where you're going. Situation can vary depending on what situation it is. So I cannot speak. One stick does not goes for every solution. So it's a very tough job. Read about parenting for each age group. That is very helpful. Know your culture. Know the culture they are spending time. So know the difference in culture and how you're going to work with them. That is very important, because they're learning from a different culture. You are growing in a different culture, can also affect them. So this is some of the few points I have. Hopefully that's helpful.
Yeah, that does. And quickly, we have roughly 4 more minutes left about the moody kids. Like, sometimes some kids, get, upset with little, unexpected things happen, or their needs are not met by their parents. For those kind of children, I'm thinking they are normal children without any kind of influence or mental health related problems. How should parents know? I mean, it's just my child, like, some kidding, or like, I know my child, they are not going to do, oh, cross the limit. So as for the moody kids, what would be the recommendation?
That is a difficult call to make because every kid is different. If you have a concern about it, that they are extremely moody and they are not able to do a lot of their work at school, at home, and they're crossing the boundaries, that needs to be figured out rather than keep under the rug and say my kid is moody. There may be a lot of reason. The person may have other mental health issues going on, which you have not discovered out, because we think everybody is normal. It's better to go to a psychiatrist or a child psychiatrist to figure out those things. Why? Because this is not a normal behavior to be extremely moody and affecting your life or the parent's life or other things, or the other sibling affecting them. You can be moody, but it should not affect other people. So that raise a red flag, and at that time I will suggest to have a talk with your physicians or psychiatrist about that. That will be helpful.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think with that final recommendation, we can conclude our program for today. And we really appreciate our experts, Dr. Habiba and Dr. Ranginwala, for their valuable time and recommendation for our parents' education. May God Almighty bless you, bless your families, and keep you in healthy and good faith and iman, and for continuing our program. Thank you very much.
I mean, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.